Hello, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I'm glad you guys are here. It's really nice. It's nice to talk to you guys, to communicate with you this way and in all the other ways that I end up communicating with everyone. Really makes it fun. It's really refreshing to have actual human interactions, especially when we share opposing views, different views, right? We don't all have to get along and agree with each other 100% of the time. But have you noticed that on here, we're not dealing with people who are violent, radical idiots? It's not that way everywhere now, is it? So when I say it's not like that everywhere, I'm talking about places like Portland. Portland right now is the biggest cesspool of Antifa stupidity, but it is all over the country, believe it or not. There are Democrats everywhere who are organizing, because that's what they do, antagonizing each other and setting off microaggressions amongst each other, right? They're triggering each other. All of these little social justice warrior snowflake terms come out of that area. They all want their safe space. Well, they want their safe space to be Washington, D.C. And right now, as a result of the way things have gone, the Democrats are becoming more and more frustrated. They're becoming more and more angry, and they're beginning to lash out more and more physically. I expected a lot of action this summer. We really didn't get it. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. It's nothing I did, nothing that you guys did that I know of. They just weren't that way. But they certainly have gotten riled up. Maybe they saved all their energy for what's coming right now. Right? We're coming into the last few weeks before the election. Now, the Democrats have been talking violently, and I and many of you guys on your own channels, amongst yourselves, your friends, your co-workers, your families, we've listened to how Hillary and Maxine Waters and Eric Holder especially have been fomenting violence, right? The creepy porn lawyer Michael Avenatti, he's been fomenting a type of hatred and violence. The senators on the Kavanaugh hearing, they were fomenting violence. The protesters during the Kavanaugh process in D.C., they were bringing out very violent behavior, lashing out, screaming and yelling and clawing and getting in people's faces. Now, why? Because they want their way, right? And either way, we've got these elections coming up. I am seeing nothing but potential for social unrest, for violence. So let's take a look at what a win for the Democrats in this election means. And all of this, by the way, ties into shit hitting the fan. And it always does, right? If the Democrats win, if there's a blue wave, or if they just squeak by, all they need to do is win, right? And if they can pop a couple of Republicans over to thinking their way because they're cowards, intellectual vagrants, then that happens too from time to time. But if the Democrats win the election, they are going to consider that a mandate. And what a mandate is, right, is they think all of a sudden the American people have changed their mind. Well, they may change their mind in a few districts. Right? It may give the Democrats a majority, but does that mean the entire country has swung their way? No. But every time the Democrats have won anything, they consider it a mandate. Right? In other words, they now have, as far as they're concerned, the moral authority because the electorate has changed their mind about the course of the nation. So if they win, first off, there is going to be nothing but celebratory stupidity, right? Much like the winning of an NBA championship or the World Series. I would expect that, right? But if they win, what happens? They celebrate a little, and then they're immediately going to run, right, into what? Political action in D.C. What that means, what I mean by that is the first thing they'll do is go to the committees, put in new committee chairmen, come up with their assignments, and their assignments is going to be investigate, investigate, investigate. Trump, Kavanaugh, McConnell, everybody that is not on their side. Paul Ryan will probably evaporate like steam from a tea kettle, right? These people will push over every Republican who are pushovers. And they will go after Trump. You bet your ass they will. They have 2 years of built up, pent up vengeance and anger and hatred towards Trump, towards the slogan, Make America Great Again, towards everybody who is like you and me, who believes in self-reliance and responsibility. They'll come after us and they'll hold us responsible. You bet your ass they will. Now, what will happen because of that? Right? If they impeach Trump, they still need a conviction in the Senate. And that means they'll have to win the Senate too. And I don't think it's going to happen. But if they do, what kind of trouble can they cause? Right now, the market is teetering. And I think that, of course, I know the Democrats want the market fucked up so they can blame Trump for the election. And that itself is a precarious mess that is being dealt with. But let's just go back to the Democrat election win. They're going to go after Trump. They're going to go after the Supreme Court. Everything they can. What is that going to cause? Will that cause social unrest or social mending? Right? It's going to cause social unrest. The people on the street who have been screaming about Trump are just going to scream about Trump louder. They're going to demand action. Right? When they didn't have power, look at how loud they were during the Kavanaugh hearings. When they do have power, they will be even louder, even more boisterous. They'll have more man-hating signs out. They will be calling for literal, right, public hangings. That's what we have to look forward to. That's the social and political side. There will be impeachments. Right? That's what they are about now. They are about revenge. They're about their anger, and it's going to come. It will trickle down to the streets. You know, I listen to people talk. I've listened to, for example, Fourth Dimension, Kaz, this morning did a video where he's like, there's just people on the right who have had it up to here with the left and their antics. They haven't done anything, but they're just waiting for an opportunity to show them where the bear shits in the woods. Right? You want to come up and just start making your case with every American on the street, they're going to find out how unwanted and unloved they really are on the left. And I've heard, I went and I listened to an older interview, a couple weeks old. It was done by Greg Hunter with Bill Holter and Jim Sinclair. 2 old guys, even older than me. And very diplomatically, very politely, and very intelligently, they explained that if it comes down to it, they will take up arms. And they talk about it in a very mature, intelligent, and careful way. But I listened and thought, did I just hear that? And I backed it up and listened again. Yeah. There is a feeling or a mood of social unrest and tension, and it's being felt by both sides. The Democrats are out in everyone's faces. The Republicans are sitting back. And I'm putting those two sides just to basically categorize both sides. Right? There's libertarians over here on the right. There's Tea Party people. There's, basically leave me the hell alone, freedom-loving, I don't want to call them anarchists because that makes them sound dangerous, limited government types. We're all over there, and then you got your Democrats and your commies over here. Anyways, they've had it. The right has had it, right? Because the left has been threatening our lives, literally threatening our lives. So, if they win, that's going to cause social problems, there's going to be political problems, and you can bet there's going to be economic fallout for that. You think the stock market wants to listen to that type of crap? Do we have a president? Don't we have a president? He's being impeached. What are the tariffs? Are they up in the air? Are they gone? What would the replacement, if Trump were impeached and if he were convicted and then Mike Pence became the president, what does that mean to the tariffs, the economy? Right? Too many question marks, too much uncertainty. And do you think around the world, other nations that do business with us on a limited basis, deal with monetary exchange issues, just to put it in a nice way, do you think they're going to have more or less confidence in the US dollar? More or less confidence in buying treasuries, bonds, right? Less. They'd be like, fuck that place. America is a zoo full of idiots. And literally, when you look and listen to the left, they look and sound like idiots. They do not make a coherent, cogent, intelligent argument. They just now scream. Right now, and I love listening to people on the right rant because they'll articulate their message and bring it up with points as they scream and yell their anger. The Democrats are just idiots, and they are just angry, and they just yell. Right? And that's what happens if the Democrats win. Now, if they lose, there's going to be, just like it was 2 years ago, the tears of pain and suffering, the poor left-wing lunatics. They're gonna be crying their eyes out. They're gonna be sniveling and whining for a day, and then they're gonna start their antics again. They're going to scream and yell and get loud again because they're gonna feel that they've been cheated, that Trump cheated them, right? That Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court is the reason they lost, right? That fake alternative right-wing news is the cause, the culprit, right? That's what they're going to blame. And I don't think there'll be as much economic fallout because that relies on some guarantee of political consistency for it to affect the economy. But socially, you can expect them to be very angry and very vengeful. Now, we're waiting still for the arrests. Are we ever going to get the arrests of Hillary and Holder and Comey and Brennan? Now, it is wonderful that Brennan had his secret clearance taken away. And about the same time, Hillary just gave hers up, probably so she can say it wasn't taken from her. Right there's a victory for you, you old bat. We want to see arrests, and I think that this is the most opportune time ever, right now, between now and Election Day, for Trump and his QAnon team, if they really exist, to arrest these people, to totally take the steam out of the engine, to take the wind out of their sails, right? To kick their asses, to demoralize the left-wing lunatics. If they arrested Hillary and arrested Obama and arrested Loretta Lynch and arrested Susan Rice and arrested Rod Rosenstein and all these other pricks, if they would arrest them, the left would lose heart. And they would just melt away. I'm sure they'd still whine and cry and snivel and be angry, but at least they would shut the fuck up or bring it down a few notches. And certainly it would affect voter turnout for the left. They would be demoralized. Oh my God, Hillary's been arrested. Means she really is a criminal? Oh, wow, we didn't want to believe that. We thought it was a vast right-wing conspiracy. Right? This is Q's last chance to prove any semblance of credibility. Because this is the most politically opportunistic time, the most important midterm election ever. Put these left-wing lunatics in their place now. Do it. Arrest them. And if they don't, right, I've still got this much, 1% chance that there's some validity to the Q phenomenon. If not, it's just some really smart people looking at facts and putting them out there and giving everyone a bunch of hope where it shouldn't be placed, right? But if the Democrats lose, I expect whining and violence. If they win, I expect whining and violence and impeachment. And leading up to the election, unless Q, right, unless the good guys actually play their cards and arrest the bad guys, we're going to have an increase, right, in verbal volatility. It's going to go up. The Democrats are going to get louder because they're going to be more and more scared. Now, when it comes to polling, they polled Hillary, right? A 10% victory over Trump. It was actually in all truth the other way. And I believe it was the NSA did their study and found that Trump won by 10%. A huge victory margin on the popular vote because they factored out all of the corrupt, lying, cheating that takes place during every election. And the Democrats need their people out there voting once, voting early, voting often. And if you're dead, that's no excuse. The dead need to vote multiple times as well. It's been proven for over 20 years. They've been proving that there's dead people on the voter rolls and they vote more than once. Who's doing this, right? So it needs to be fixed. The Democrats need those dead votes. They need those extra votes, and they're going to try. But you can see how much pressure there is right now. The pressure's on me, and look at me. I'm wearing my Hawaiian shirt. I'm a relaxed, chill guy. I'm calm. I'm collected. You know, I want to relax. I want my blood pressure down. I want everything good and relaxed, but it's not that way. These people are at us all the time, in our ears, in our faces. They're on TV. The stupid is everywhere. And they keep us engaged at this level of psychotic stupidity that the left has, right? So it affects us. It affects the nation. It affects our health, our interactions with other humans. It affects us negatively. It needs to be done with. But I don't think we're going to get that. We're not that fucking lucky, right? We're going to have this until it comes to a shit it's the fan moment. The left may do it. They may just go off the rails and just cause all sorts of havoc, right? As punishment, right? And how is the government going to respond? Are they going to serve and protect? No. Look what's going on in Portland. The city council, the mayor, the chief of police, the police themselves, the different precincts, whatever they got up there. They're not stopping these scumbags, these Antifa communist types, right? They're just letting them run wild, right? I guess they're stopping them from burning the city to the ground, but they're in the streets, they're in people's faces. That's some rough stuff. I would not tolerate that personally, and they're very lucky and fortunate that I guess Portland is full of a bunch of beta cucks, beta wimps, wimp men, you know, testicleless males. That's too bad. I wish that someone would step up and just put a stop to it. And frankly, I don't care what it takes. That's where my attitude is. I don't care what it takes to get these people out of here. You want to have a march? Get a fucking permit. Go down the middle of the street for an hour, wave your flag, scream and yell, then go home and get the fuck out of everyone's faces. You know, the government, I don't think, is going to respond properly if the Democrats and their minions on the streets in every city in America get out of hand. I'm sure there are places where the police are a little more constitutional minded, a little more mindful of their oaths. But you can bet it's going to get out of hand. And I expect shit it's the fan hotspots. And if it doesn't, that's fucking terrific. Right? Your food, your water, your shelter, your clothing, your medicine, your means of self-defense, your plan, your understanding of how everything works isn't worthless, and it hasn't been acquired in vain. You can always eat the food and drink the water. Right? But you're safe. You're prepared. You've got a plan. These are the things you need. You need it. Because we don't know what these clowns have in mind. Right? You know, the Democrats, are they nonviolent? No, they've demonstrated that they're violent. Red-blooded, freedom-loving Americans, right? They're pissed off. They're aggravated also. We just demonstrate it in a different way. We exemplify our moral basis. We're angry, and if asked about it, we can explain it. But there's a lot of frustration on our side. One of my big frustrations is, why isn't Hillary being arrested? Other frustrations, why isn't the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, and all of the other government bureaucracies enforcing the law? I mean, I have my answers. I know why they're not doing it because I see what's happening. But I want law and order. I want justice. I want equality. And I know that if Democrats, or rather Republicans, were in the streets and they were abusing people, destroying property, impeding traffic, breaking laws in general, they would be arrested in about 5 fucking seconds. Right? Red-blooded Americans have had it. Absolutely had it. But here we are. Right? We need to understand how we can get into shit it's the fan over what's going on in the next few weeks. So we need to pay extra special attention to it. Right? You know, thoughts and prayers to everyone down in Florida and other places, in Texas, big flooding. You know, everyone's got problems, but we need to be aware, critically aware of the area around us as individuals. Understand the national issues and what's going on so that we can incorporate that into our short-term plan. Our long-term plan is whenever shit hits the fan to be ready, but our short-term plan. Do you live in a city with a college campus within 10 miles of your place? You know, do you have inner city problems? Do you have suburbia? And I don't put suburbia down as some safe haven. Not anymore, right? All of those great government jobs go to Democrats as much as they go to Republicans, and they're out in the suburbs. And I've noticed a degree of anger amongst older Democrats. Just like us older Republicans, we're frustrated and pissed off. You get an older Democrat talking, they don't have to be in college to be radicals. They're radical up here. They're just a little more quiet about it. I almost use the word submissive, but that almost sounds like it's an anti-feminist saying. But they are quieter about it. But they're still very radicalized. And they still organize, and they still have meetings, and they still fund and support these young lunatics. So if you're in an area that's suburbia, understand who's there. Understand who's down the street, right? Know who the community rabble-rousers are. Very typically, those are your liberals. And they are going to be a problem as shit hits the fan. I expect in certain places around this country, even if the Democrats win, but certainly if they lose, that there's going to be rioting and looting and problems in retaliation for the Republicans stealing from them their precious majority that they want back so that they can bring back civility, according to Hillary Clinton. Now, it is fun to say, well, Hillary is so scared that she has to come out and talk. Right? I also look at them as they don't know the meaning of the word quit. They don't know the meaning of a lot of words. But the Democrats, certainly, maybe it's their ignorance that makes them just full-on bulldog attack stupid. But they are full-on bulldog attack stupid. They're always on the offense, even when we think they should be on their heels. Hillary should be hiding in a pile of trash that smells so bad no one would think to look for her there because of the crimes she's committed. But no, she's doubled down. She's tripled down. She is quadrupled down as if her life depends on it, and it just might. Because we don't know what's in all those sealed indictments. We don't know if they're actually going to do something with those sealed indictments. Right? Who knows what dirt they have on Sessions? Who knows what dirt they have on any of these people? And if they had dirt on Trump, they would have used it. Period. Even though it's not a main election, they would have used it. Right? In fact, creepy porn lawyer Michael Avenatti and Stormy Horseface Daniels, that's what the president's calling her now, is Horseface, which is, I'll get to that in a second. You know, they lost. They don't have a case against Trump. There is no Russian collusion. There's no conspiracy. There's nothing bad there, or it would have been leaked. It'd be out. So is Trump a good guy or is Trump a bad guy? He's doing a lot of good guy things, but apparently we don't have a Justice Department. So, you know, we're always on the edge of shit hitting the fan with those fucking clowns because they could lose power and it could swing right back to the deep state, the cabal. Right? And I'm hoping there's good guys. But if there was just bad guys, this is my opinion, if there was just bad guys, there wouldn't be any fighting and struggling. They would just mow us over with a bunch of New World Order bullshit and just kill us all, right, according to all their plans. So there's got to be good guys. It's just where they are, who they are, their means and methods are rather hidden. And if it was QAnon, QAnon would be right a whole lot more than my Little League batting average. Anyways, this is a talk and a thought process I've been building for the last couple of days, thinking about what is coming. Win or lose, Democrats and stupid. Win or lose, right? The economy is coming down. Could come down faster depending on who wins and how everything is done, right? But understand that social tension is rising, and there's a reason. Things aren't in good shape. Economic problems are rising. It's evident from the way the big investors are going, from the way the rich people are talking. Political tensions are rising, right? Incivility, stupidity. I mean, we're talking real stupidity. Politically, it's out there, right? One of these days, in the next couple of years, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is going to fall asleep in her desk and she's not going to wake up. And I'm not saying that to be cruel or mean or wish it. That's just an old woman who's at the end of her game. She needs to resign or retire. But she doesn't want to, because that's one more chair they don't want Trump putting a conservative in. That would really seal the deal for the Democrats for quite some time, would it not? Can you imagine the wailing and gnashing of teeth that would occur? Anyways, I'm going to cut it there. Think about your area when shit hits the fan. Think about politically, right? Think about what could happen. And understand that your frustrations that you have are felt by everyone. You're not the Lone Ranger. I'm not the Lone Ranger. Right? The president is not the Lone Ranger. We're all in this together because we're all within shooting distance of each other. Right? So get ready, get out there. Anyways, head over also to the preparedmind.club if you need prepper items, if you need some help with stuff. There's a lot of help there for you. So you guys be cool. I'll talk to you later. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Godspeed, all.